Well, hey, thanks for making your way to our Above and Beyond site here at Awaken Church. And I want to give some insight into what Above and Beyond actually is. Every year as a church, we've made a decision that we're going to take time to focus on generosity and look at what it means to give above what we normally would give so we can go beyond where we normally would go. And this coincides with a teaching series that we have and a collective offering where we give funds that really help resource three different areas of our church. The first is missions, the second is next generations ministries, and the third is future campus and expansion. And so to give some awareness on what those are, from a mission standpoint, we have local, national, and global missions. Locally, we partner with nonprofits all throughout our city. Nationally, we partner with Strategic Launch Network, who plants churches in the hardest to reach areas of our country, cities like New York and LA and Seattle. And then globally, we partner with Food for the Hungry, specifically in the country of Guatemala. And we're able to help offset the cost of teams that go for missions. We're able to help pay for construction projects in these communities that are in desperate need, and also help resource the sponsorships of children. We also use this fund to resource our next generation ministries, our A Kids and our A Youth, and also young adults through internships and residencies. With our A Kids, man, every summer, whether it's Summer Jam or Adventure Week, we put on a camp here locally where hundreds of kids come to hear about Jesus. This allows for the scholarship of many of those and really the offsetting of costs to make that happen in an incredible way. A Youth, we send kids off to camp, and you may or may not know, the cost of camp is incredibly expensive. And so this fund helps offset and reduce the cost, and it also creates a lot of scholarships for students who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford to go. Through young adults, what we like to do is create ministry residencies and internships so that we can develop and deploy leaders, both here in our city, but also other places in our state and even country, for them to go and serve in ministry beyond just our church and our context. The third aspect that this fund goes toward is future expansion or future campuses. And I want to explain what that means, because you may or may not know, we are a multi-site church, and currently our Summerville campus is in a lease agreement at Cane Bay High School. And we're going to be launching out other campuses in the future. And what this fund allows us to do is get ahead financially so that we can either front end the expense of a lease facility, or we can take advantage of opportunities that may arise, either in a long-term lease facility or the opportunity to purchase a facility. And so having these funds reserved and saved as we move forward will position us to take advantage of opportunities that God brings to us as we continue to multiply and send campuses out throughout our city. So here's the next step and how you can take action. The first is pray. Pray about how God might use you and use your family to give toward Above and Beyond. And as you do that, number two is commit. Commit to an actual dollar amount, whether it's a one-time gift or whether it's a monthly amount. And as a part of that commitment, it may be sacrificing something, maybe giving up coffee or giving up fast food, or maybe even giving up that new car that you want this next year. But just consider how God might be calling you to commit financially toward Above and Beyond. And then lastly, of course, is to give. And you can find links below to actually go ahead and make your gift or set up your recurring monthly gift for this next year. And here's what I know, as we all contribute collectively toward what God's calling us toward as a church, we're going to see him do immeasurably more than we can ever ask or imagine of ourselves. And so thank you for being engaged in what God's doing. Thank you for being invested in Above and Beyond. And I just look forward with so much anticipation to seeing how God's going to use this to bless our church and others as we continue to give sacrificially toward him together.